And we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Marijuana Merlin, and I'm here today with G Time Johnny. Introduce yourself, G Time.
Ruff, ruff. Hi, everybody. It's great to be with the Goofy Noofy. I'm here to just test some live streaming from way out here in the middle of nowhere.
Whoa, there's some nice scenery, Johnny. I love it.
On the river,
It looks so
Central County.
fresh. It looks so nice. I didn't think
Oh,
greenery still existed like that in Cali.
well, it's that time of year. you know, so, so you can find any. You can pretty much find any season you want in Cali at any time. You just gotta know where to go.
Oh
The
yeah.
last freedom, the first again.
We
Uh,
we get all four seasons in the
that's
run of a day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like your country is like something that's always fascinated me. I mean, it's like
Oh
that's a
yeah.
great place to be.
Especially on this island here, man. Like it all depends on what way the ocean currents and the winds are blowing that way. That day, I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, and the weather will change in another half an hour.
Yep. Yeah. Like in spring and fall, it's the worst because it'll go from freezing cold to a little bit of snow, then rain and slush, and then the sun will come out and it'll go up to like plus 10 or 12. That's Celsius.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be like 80 degrees out. In the other messy one. That's
Yeah.
just really our problem. It is our problem too, as far as a species is concerned, is that the language is so private definition between all the different other languages. That's where gaming really comes in. Is that we've immersed ourselves in just using a computer is or reading a book is an altered reality or a different reality. Well, it's getting better and better and better. Well, we're going to use these tools to bring us all back together.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. Like, did you ever watch The Cable Guy back in the 90s or whatever with Jim Carrey? Do you remember
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah.
scene where he's on the satellite tower and he's just like, we'll be able to connect with everybody from around the world. You'll be playing Mortal Kombat with your best friend in Vietnam. And he was right on the money.
Well, move your finger, model the internet. I always had to have to add, cancer only sees cancer.
Hey, buddy.
So, oh man, am I coming in okay?
Yeah, you're coming in perfect now.
Perfect.
Is that
Well,
Blossom behind
I
you?
can't. Yeah, that's Blossom. I can't be perfect, dude.
Well, just coming in as best as you can. Put it that way.
I was say, oh, how are you today? And they go, I'm good. And I go, you're a freaking liar.
No,
You're
man.
you're different. You're different than when the question was asked. you it's like we are in a constant state of change, but we're born to a species that wants our language for us to stay the same. you
Yeah,
know, uh,
yeah. And it's kind of like, I kind of understand what you're getting at. It's kind of like what they were doing in 1984, sort of. Like,
oh, duh.
reducing stuff and, like, using language to dull people's minds.
It's called private definition, and that's where VD of the mind came from. Was Orwell, and if you go look at politics of English language, third of the way down the page, there's this paragraph that says, anybody who uses the term democracy is in praising a country, but there is no definition of democracy. And if we were tied down to any word democracy, nobody would use the word democracy. And so it's all private definition. And so that's where I added to my part of it is that PD is BD of the mind. Because if you can't gesture it, then you're lying to yourself about it and you're internally lying inside and then using the language externally as a liar. so,
Okay, yeah, because most this is what I was thinking for the longest time about how you communicate and how you're professing G time is that most of human
yeah.
communication is bodily, right? Like from tone of voice to how we're shaking our head to how we're using our hands and everything, right?
And integrity. integrity, how we feel about ourselves. Is that, and that every step that we take on this earth has to be in tune with the earth. We ride the patterns of this universe instead of like right now, we're born to a species that controls it. We have leap years, okay? Yes, the equinox just went by. Nobody talked about it. It's you are on our year, no other year. And then it's 365 days or four, and
Yeah.
and you have to be from this calendar we made up. And we really, in essence, what happens is we get ticks. It's like tick 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 tick, happy birthday. Dogs
Yeah.
don't know their but dogs don't know their birthday.
No.
you know
The,
you're
the,
here to live on this earth. And once we get caught in ticks, we start only seeing the peaks. And Alan Watts is a good analogist for this particular situation. Is if you go start listening to some Alan Watts videos, it's like we never get taught to learn to live in the valleys, because that's where life is learned, in the valleys. When I'm going through some hard trying times, I'm like grinning, because it's like, gosh, when I get out of this, I'm going to be so much better. Woohoo!
yeah.
Whereas we're taught to like, oh no, you poor little baby. Boo, boo, boo,
Yeah.
boo.
It's like what Yoda says to Luke about Luke's father. He's just like he was always caught up in where he was going and never thinking about where he was doing where he was to and what he was doing.
Right. Yeah. It's like like we've got everything so fast now. Oh, I could be in Newfoundland in 6 hours from California, 7 hours. No, that took away the whole adventure of going.
Yeah.
We just totally blank out, the life that we are. It's like, okay, and so that we're always in this state of diversion, and we never really truly blossom what's inside of us. I mean, look, when we get language put in our head, and this is something we're all ending, is that the language is more important than the head that's holding it. That's the way we got our language installed. It's like, you can't speak English.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're having right.
We're too
Part of my. Go ahead.
we're too focused on flying too high like Icarus, and eventually our wings will melt.
Yeah, but you're using gaming terminology. Absolutely.
Oh no,
You know,
not
go ahead.
gaming. The myth of Icarus, where him and his father made
Oh,
wax wings to fly across the sea, and his father said, "Don't fly too high or don't fly too low. Because if you fly too high, you'll get hot. The sun will melt your wings, and if you fly too low, you'll crash into the ocean." And Icarus flew too high, and his wings melted from the sun, and he crashed into the ocean.
so then what happened?
Oh, well, the it was a short parable, more or less like that, to say that don't aim too high because you'll burn out more or less. All right, don't
Nah,
constantly
that
focus at that.
I wouldn't be here now if I didn't aim so high. Is that it's like you've got to take your mind and go to good, better, reset, good, good, better, reset, good. Good, better, reset, good. That is a state of mind totally achievable. That's the one we're born with. A kid's like, oh, whoops, I fell down. Well, then I'm back up, and I don't care if I get another scratch. I'm going to ride this bike. you know, I'm
Yeah,
better for it.
that's the
That's
way
what's
that's the way I was as a kid now, and now kids are just like they fall down, and it's a great big upset.
parents. Yeah, the parents, the cult of adult. It's like the cult of adult collective. That's how I refer to it. So that's what I'm ending on this planet. So that we give the world. If trees live for the dead, there'd be no trees. And so that's the cult of adult collective. They collectively live for the dead and train their children to live for the dead too. And that is why our species is in this constant state of decline. Whereas the parents, every other species is like, and this grass right here, I felt guilty pulling it. It's like when it dies, it's like, did it leave the world better for the next generation? That's what it asks itself.
Yeah,
And so that's not what our parents ask themselves, or what even like it's like what I always say is like, when children become adults, they become rotten fruit, and we are proof.
Yeah. They project themselves on the kids or whatever, on the future generations.
It's the emotional attachment to language. It's like, but what's that, you use language in an energy way that, that freeing the energy, just like you hear me in your ears right now. I'm
Hmm.
not in the room. That's
Yeah,
electric. It's
yeah.
electric. And so that if you use language in a way that frees minds, there's eventually, I don't care how many of those Vatican DCs there are with magic lines in the sky, eventually, we're going to come back to here, to where we're from,
Yeah.
you know. And that's what happens with G time. It's Galileo time. There's one time that all minds have that is in tune with every cell of this earth. Give every cell your eyes or remain empty inside. you know, you know, give every cell a brain or remain insane. I can think of
Okay.
all kinds of
Hey, bud.
that. It's like it's all tied together in one. And it's like you just can't get fall into this whole, tick tick tick. You got ticks, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, January, February, March, April, May, January. That's ticks. The dogs don't do that.
Yeah.
And so once you break free of that, there's the tick part, and then there's the money part, where you're on a deserted island and you're about ready to die, and I show up and I give you $5 billion, a Maserati, and two Cadillacs. I'll see you later.
Like what's that going to do for you on a desert island?
Yeah, and you're about ready to die. You're about starving to death. What? That's not enough. Here, I'll give you 2 more billion. You're fine. You're fine. That's what you live for now, money, right?
Yeah, but money ain't going to feed you.
Yeah. And so we, as children, as trusting children, we get our logic hijacked by those two main things right there. And when you start tearing them apart, you see the valleys where the life is learned and the patterns from where we're from, and stuff like that. Uh-oh. Question.
Okay.
I think that's a question, right?
Oh no, no, no! That was just my phone going off. I gotta mute it.
um, it does sound like the question, but when I do it every once in a while. So yeah, to live in the valleys, get away from the tick tick tick, and separate yourself from the money, 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 and then all at once this world starts coming into focus, and you don't have to live this gory Gregorian flat ball god food existence. You take our species to what in coding we call it earth dog food over dog food. We eat our own dog food, and G timers give it away free, like I'm doing right now. Is that it's like you don't if you can't look to the earth for life, you've had your primal rights violated, because
Hmm.
where are we from? Where are we from? We're not from a gory Gregorian calendar, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just
And we
it's just all a construct we made to take away our
and
lives.
total accident. And so, but it's all opportunity. That's the beauty. If it was like 50 years from now, we wouldn't have this opportunity. I mean, Galileo, all the way back to Socrates. Socrates drank poison for the logic I've been chasing since I was a little kid. That child adult logic dichotomy. And that the child's logic is so precious. The head of a child, way more important than the language we put in it. And so that is the switch. And when you make that switch and you make it in yourself, you see the opportunities that we have as a species. It's like, oh my gosh, never before. This will never be surpassed. Only thing, maybe they capture a fire, because there ain't gonna be no life left on this earth unless we do what we got to do. you know, that's before us. So it's like, yeah, let's rock. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. So yeah, it's just I just cannot wait to. I want to do like I've been taking my whole. I want to go skiing so bad, but I cannot wait to do it in virtual reality too. It's like as I could see myself another 50 years or 40 years, however long I'm on this earth. You know, like I'm a, you know, say on my deathbed, have a virtual reality goggles on, and I'm skiing down a hill. You know, now it's just me. You know, it's that's what the elderly will live a lot longer because of the tools we have. If we can keep our minds free and work the energy, but you know, it's like we're born to a species that's looking at chemical reactions instead of why the chemical reactions occurred.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you.
So I'll rant forever if you don't stop me.
Oh no, no. I just like listening, but
Oh, I'm just honored that you put me on your stream, man.
oh, I'm honored. I'm honored that you came, man.
Oh shit! Anytime, bro. Anytime. But the wind's coming up. I'm gonna ditch out so you can take over.
All right. Thank you,
All
Johnny.
right. I
Hey,
love you, bro.
love you too, man. See ya.
I love you. Bye.